Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Spearfield7. Today we're going to talk a little bit about perk selection in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Now, all the perks in the game are pretty good, but there are a couple that really stand out as being very powerful, very effective, very efficient, and a lot more helpful than maybe some others. So today we're going to put together a list of the top strongest perks that you can run in your class loadouts. This gameplay is me going 44 and 13 on Retreat Hardpoint. Pretty good gameplay. But let's talk about perks. Let's dive right in, shall we? So perk 1, low profile, I would say is the strongest one. The UAV spam is so real, as it is with all Call of Duty titles. This will take you off the UAV, and it was a perk that I didn't really run a whole lot at first, but now I have it on most of my classes, and I have a lot better gameplays. Number 2 is Flak Jacket, and Flak Jacket just helps, as it always has, diminish the damage from explosives, and so it's kind of a must-have perk if you are running objective modes, domination, hardpoint, momentum, etc., etc. The EXO launcher is really cool as shit, so I feel like a lot of people just arbitrarily chuck grenades places. Grenades will mess you up if you don't have Flak Jacket on, so use it. Overcharged, these new EXO abilities are really neat, and Overcharge just allows you to extend those. So I know like EXO Stim and some of the standard EXO abilities, they don't last very long, honestly. And if you're playing Search and Destroy and you can put on EXO Mute and Overcharged, you can really like almost go across the entire map without anybody hearing your footsteps. And so from a strategy angle, Overcharge can really help you a lot. Or if you're in hardpoint, you know, and you got overclock, you can run across the map to get to the next hill. Very useful, very strong. Number 4 is lightweight, and lightweight's just a very like taste related perk for me. Some people swear by it. Honestly, if I'm running submachine guns, I don't need it. I feel like I'm moving plenty fast enough. Sometimes I'll do it on an AR to make it feel more like a submachine gun. You know, I'm a little more nimble, a little more quick on my feet. But all you're basically doing is getting a very, very minimal speeding increase. And with people double jumping and boost jumping, and basically you can do these like boost hops forward, I feel like you're getting lightweight in many ways. So I don't think it's really necessarily as important as others. Number 5 is Danger Close, and that just basically increases the power of your grenades and explosives, which might help penetrate Flak Jacket, but I just don't really know why you would necessarily be wanting to run Danger Close unless you're running a troll class. Moving on to perk 2, I think Cold Blooded is the strongest perk 2 perk. It takes the name off of your character. It makes you immune to the thermal sight, so there's no heat signature that people can aim at. There's no enemy callouts. People in Call of Duty tend to be kids who don't necessarily know how to use their mics properly. In a strategic way, it's usually to annoy or to talk shit on other people. Yeah, basically if you have Cold-Blooded, you're not going to be hearing callouts, so the AI is not going to be telling enemy teammates where you are. So I think it's the most important perk in the second tier. Moving on, Blind Eye makes you sort of immune to AI score streaks. Basically every score streak except the UAV. Honestly, I don't have a lot of room for it, but I think I'm going to try to experiment with it a little more. I do see how it can be useful, especially since domination and hardpoint point increases now are allowing people to get their streaks a lot faster. So it might be something to look into more. Fast hands, I've been running fast hands a lot more lately. I think the animation to call in your EXO ability is painfully slow. And when you're in the heat of the moment, sometimes it's very easy to get overwhelmed and not be able to shoot your grenades fast enough, and all of that is taken care of with fast hands. Also, I've been running overkill classes a lot lately, and it's necessary because you can swap weapons instantaneously and continue to just go on a rampage. So I really like fast hands. I would suggest you try to experiment with fast hands. Peripherals will increase the map basically for you. So your mini map will be bigger. You'll be able to see more of the map. But I don't necessarily think it's as important because, yes, you can see a bigger portion of the map, but it's another thing that you're going to make it all the way over there to kill that guy, and that's basically the only benefit of it. There's nothing really special that's going to actually affect the gameplay. Gung Ho is a fun perk. I love it, honestly, but I don't run it a lot. And the reason I don't run it is I feel like it's just not necessary. I feel like when you run Gung Ho, basically it allows you to shoot people while you're sliding. I just feel like there's so many ways for me to kill people now, I don't need another one. And honestly, it feels like when you're running the sprint animation, it feels like you're running a little slower and it's a little more awkward and wonky. I mean, I've never been in a spot where I would go, wow, Gung Ho totally saved me there. If I didn't have Gung Ho, I would have been a goner, you know? So it's definitely a fun perk to play with, but I don't think it's necessarily, mandatory. Perk 3 tier. Hardwired is hands down the most important perk, I would say. It basically makes you immune to EMP grenades, stun grenades, flashbangs, and System Hack, which I think System Hack is probably the most annoying score streak in Call of Duty history. It obscures your map, it covers the screen in skull and crossbones, and it's just so annoying. And when you play talented teams, they call it in so many times during a match. You don't want to be handicapped or hindered by it. So I would strongly recommend that as a must in the perk 3 section. The second one is toughness. I find that, I don't know, this might be controversial. I've been using foregrip a lot more than toughness on a lot of my classes. I feel like the time to kill is actually pretty quick. Like when you die, it's pretty quick. Sometimes it might take a while for you to kill somebody else. But I feel like when I die, it's usually pretty quick. They earn the kill. And I don't really think there's a lot of room for a lot of back and forth to make it through a gunfight. So I feel like foregrip is a better choice, but that's just me. So number 3 is Blast Suppressor, and this is one I used a lot at the beginning of the game, but not so much anymore, and I think it's because with the amount of mobility and the relative small size of the map, it doesn't matter if people can see you're boosting around the map. You just have to play a little bit more aggressively, sort of be ready to get in the gunfights a lot. But I feel like a lot of people ignore the map, and honestly, I used to be able to play this game, just by watching the map, basically, not even watching what was in front of me. In this game, you kind of have to spend a little bit more time watching enemy movements, where people are going, and whatnot. But if you're running a stealth class, or you're playing game modes like S&D, Blast Suppressor is very, very helpful. Number 4 is Scavenger. Scavenger allows you to pick up ammo from dead bodies, and other than that, it doesn't really help a whole lot. It doesn't replace explosives, it doesn't regenerate your exo ability health. Unless you're a player who's getting 8 or 9 kills per life, and you're running out of ammo frequently, I would avoid this, because it's just basically ammo related. It's going to give you a bigger clip, it's going to let you pick up ammo from dead bodies, but outside of that, there's really not a whole lot of value for it. And also, I think there are lots of really good guns in the game, so you can always pick one up. Last up is Hardline. It reduces your score streaks by 100, getting your score streaks, and I don't really run score streaks a lot, but if you do and you're having difficulty getting score streaks, this is definitely a good perk to run. But ultimately, outside of score streaks, it doesn't really do a whole lot to benefit your cumulative play. So anyways, I hope this gave you a little bit of something to think about. I'm going to be having more coming up very, 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 very soon. And yeah, hope you all have a great day. And until next time, this is Spearfield 7. See you later.